EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to one of the fastest rising cities in the U.S., the capital city of Austin, Texas. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs and the Austin Desperados. Two teams each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
They're on the 17-yard line.
Hey, 43. 15.
Now a seventh-round surprise from a year ago. It's Isaiah Pacheco. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. Faced with their first third down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen third down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage is?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board, and they're able to avoid that 3 and out. Mahomes firing complete. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
A run by Pacheco on second down. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A good rip by Pacheco. And you have to go back to 1990 with Johnny Johnson with the Cardinals to find a rookie 7th rounder with more rushing yards than he had last season. The 251st pick out of Rutgers took over the KC backfield with 830 yards in 2022. Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Mahomes throw there into the hands of Ross. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. But you look at this defense. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. Well, when they began that opening drive, they didn't have the best field position, but they were able to move the ball enough, Charles, to just get in his range to take the 3-0 advantage.
Absolutely, because considering where they began that series, I think...
There he goes, left side. That should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43.
We spent so much time talking about the physical side of the game. How about the mental side? They just gave up a field goal, but they didn't get down at all. Big-time return. They're set up to try and at least tie the game up.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. His throw incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Here's Wilson to throw. Gets the dump off to Pierce. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Now it's Wilson. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that third down play. That brings up fourth down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this will be taken at the 13. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now a throw here to his running back. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Now here's Mahomes. He'll drop this off to Pacheco. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
On 3rd down, it's Pacheco. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. 4th down, so Kansas City sends out Tommy Townsend. Yards on the punt, 7-yard return.
At their own 24-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man incomplete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. Now Wilson. That pass complete to Moore. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that will bring up second down.
Brings up second and 3 at the 46-yard line.
Now Wilson. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 44-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 44-yard line. Pierce takes it straight ahead. Able to avoid him at the 40. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Now a 2nd and 2. Here's Wilson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take over here up near the 40. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Again, it's Pacheco. There he goes, right side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 64 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. He's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They'll run here with Pacheco. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
43! 43!
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. He'll try again. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip.
Chiefs 10, Desperados nothing.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. Kttn now out of his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Now a dump off here complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Here's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Throwing is Wilson. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off. And the Chiefs will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Meanwhile, Mahomes throw on target to James. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. Mahomes now on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And, off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it. And now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Oh, I don't know if he's sensing contact to come or what, but that's a ball he'd love to have back. That could have gone for big yardage, but it just didn't want to stay in his hands. That's a tough break.
Second and 10. To throw is Wilson. He finds his target. It's Schultz. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Moore, the motion man. On 3rd down, Wilson. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Oh, he shifts past him. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And touchdown. Call that a 59-yard punt return. And the Desperados are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. But it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's the Chiefs punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll try and hurry the kick, gets it away, but it's not looking that great. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And they will take over 1st and 10.
At the Chiefs' 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Viking, 18. 18, Rattler, 18, Rattler.
Here's Wilson. He's got the connection to Moore. Touchdown! Rondell Moore, his second touchdown on the season. And his guys have taken the lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead is now 14-10. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
And especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. On 1st down, Mahomes. Got a man open, it's Ross. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Mahomes now on 1st down. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this 1st half.
15.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. It's another 1st down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
Great catch and 1st down by Kelsey, who somehow continues to improve 10 seasons and 7 All-Pro nods in. At this point, we've moved past just calling him a future Hall of Famer. Now we need to just start saying he's one of the greatest to ever play the position.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes, escaping the pressure right. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this 1st half. Now it's Mahomes again. Forced out to his left. And they chase him out of bounds back behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
Steps away to his left. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. That's going to back him up almost a full 10 yards. It's going to be a loss of 9 officially, and it's 4th down. Kicker kick here is good. And the lead is down to 1 now in 14-13. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Nwangu now from his end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Kttn Nwangu. He's inside the 20. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown. So how about the game he's having? He had the punt return earlier for a touchdown. Now the kick return to balance things out.
And oftentimes, guys who are on punt return and kickoff return, many of them are the same guys. And they're devoted to a return guy who can break big plays. And when that happens and they know it's there, they're going to block that much harder and be that much more skillful, as well as utilizing his talents. And this is what you get. Punt return, kick return, a huge game.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
Chiefs 13.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
They'll take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Let's go now.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wilson. That is caught. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away.
And now off to the races down the right side. And a crossover out of bounds right at the 25. 41 yards rushing for him now. He's carried the ball just 5 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
So a nice bounce back there defensively after giving up the big play.
Yeah, you can either get down on yourself or you can get motivated. And that time, they dropped him for a loss. So I would say that they got motivated and made the play.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here into the hands of Moore. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
It's now 3rd and 7.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Now Wilson going to change things up here.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And the lead now 11, 24-13. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
Looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Pacheco gets it up the gut. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot and try to...
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Back to throw here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
At their own 8-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. They'll go right back to the long
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On first down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Now a 2nd and 10.
19 tight. 19 tight. 19 Tiger. 19 Tiger. Go.
Now Wilson taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Wilson. And that is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. Fourth down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give him 5 on the return. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Hey, 43, 10.
Now here's Mahomes. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd and a couple.
At the 41-yard line.
Let's go.
Running left to give to Pacheco. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 122 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
And their first down, Chiefs.
First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And while the guys with the ball are having a whole lot of fun keeping it on the ground, the guys on the opposite side, they are having zero fun. They've been getting pushed around the entire game and haven't found an answer yet to slow down the running game.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Pacheco headed right. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now Mahomes. And he's got it. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Richie James from 8 yards out. And the Chiefs are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter.
Hey, Ripley.
Mahomes will throw for it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. So the celebration in the end zone, but meanwhile we do have an injured player. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's a 2nd and 8. In motion right is Wilson. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
And what do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
Pierce now up the middle. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 47 yards on the ground for him so far. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Now it's Wilson. And he whips that one incomplete there.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Wilson. And that will be incomplete as well.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Yellow.
Here's Pacheco once again. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll leave him with a third and just a yard.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Mahomes now on first down. That's who is running back, Edwards-Helaire. So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be second down.
Give him the completion, no gain, but let's focus in on that tackle. Open field tackling, the hardest thing to do in the game, I believe.
But when you get outside the tackle box, it becomes a numbers game. The defense had more than they could block. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
They'll set up the screen to Pacheco.
And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
They'll run for it with Pacheco.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers, let's go ahead and pick it up. And I don't care if they know it on the other side. Here we come, and they got it done.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Understanding he's just down one possession, trying to make something happen by extending the play, but the coverage downfield was excellent. He escaped and bought some time, but that one goes incomplete.
Mahomes going to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on third down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance of yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco,
His 2nd touchdown of the night.
and the Chiefs have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. So how about the fortitude there? They're in field goal range, but they say, no, forget the 3. We think we can get the first, and they wind up getting a lot more than they bargained for.
And I love how you used an SAT word to describe what we just saw there, partner. That's got to be a deflated defense. You see the head down, the shoulders slumped. But we've talked about this before. Sometimes as a defense, you get so wrapped up in defending the first down line that that's your last line of defense. And once they get past that, they're gone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Here's second down. Throwing on second and long. Wilson. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Inside the 30. And he's brought down after a very nice game.
What a time to come up with a play like that. They're now in field goal range. But the opportunity is also there to try and win the game outright.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Wilson. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Here's Wilson. He'll get this to Nwangu.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Well, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Well, if you've been waiting all day for this Sunday nighter's been worth the wait. It's 3rd down here. Throwing now is Wilson. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going. And I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you, but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
Here's 1st and 10. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. He'll drop that off to Edwards-Helaire. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Here's first down. On first down, they go back to Pacheco.
And they'll take this one down to about the 40.
Just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. 9 seconds, no timeouts left.
Attack, attack! Yellow.
Mahomes will throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Nate Holmes. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. And we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by L'Jarius Sneed. And he will be taken down, and that means we are headed to overtime. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Well, 4 quarters couldn't decide things, so it's on to overtime here as the kick is away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
First down and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on second down. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 45. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
First throw in overtime now for Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route.
Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. So third down coming up. And Charles, I guess the question for me, where does 4 down territory begin possibly?
I guess for me it begins if you have 4th and 5 or less, because you got to understand your team and know what your play calls are. What do you have that you think you're confident that you can pick up that type of yardage? It might be 4th and 3 for some teams, but I think anything under 4th and 5, they'll think about going for it.
3rd and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. Throwing is Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct, because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
This will be fielded at the 17. That'll go as a 39-yard punt. Give him 9 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw, it's Mahomes. Open man is Ross, complete. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
He was trying to turn the corner, but he will go nowhere.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Two minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied.
On third down, Wilson. Oh, and it's intercepted. How about this? He's to the 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But, Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night, everybody.